What I want to go over today with this video is the setting up and finishing out of a vessel, a vase like this. This is a little guy, probably what, 7 inches or so. When I have a piece like this, I will use my life center from the tailstock, and if it fits in there to hold it, then that's what I'll use. I will also loosen up the jaws a little bit. So I'll just snug it in there. It's snugged in here. So I can tighten down the jaws and turn it on. And as you can see, I still have I have a little bit of a wobble there. We have it right. Now I want to clean this up a little bit. All the way probably. Now with this cut I have on the tool, I'm able to get down in there and smooth this thing out. I got bumps, so we'll turn it up a little bit. You gotta get rid of those routine bumps. You notice I'm doing a shear cut on this, and that's why I have this tool sharpened the way I do, so I can do this shear cut. Nice little fine feathers come off of there. Just going as lightly as I possibly can and taking some material off to get it all nice and round, or at least as round as I can. Like on King 5, that one never came out round. I was actually surprised I was able to finish it. With this one, being mahogany, it doesn't move much. It come out fine. Okay. I have a little bit of markings here. Nothing significant. What I'm looking for here mainly is tear out. I have some down at the base. I'm going to get that out with either when I cut it off, or when I sand it. It's not a big deal. So far everything is looking pretty good, and so I'll just keep going the way I'm going. Okay, I think I can just remove my tailstock from this and go lightly along. Okay, it's coming along. I still have, you know, some original wood here, but it's coming along. I've got to contour it a little bit better in here. It's pretty flat right here, so I want to bring this up a little bit more that way. But other than that, you know, we're looking pretty good so far. So the other day when this gentleman by the name of Josh was over, of whom I'm mentoring the best I can to become a wood turner, he asked me to show him how to use a skew. And I said, I've never learned how to use a skew. I guess the main reason why I didn't never learn how to use a skew because I could never figure out how I was going to use it in places like this. Okay, now this grind here I have on this tool I call the Johan Mickelson. He's the hat guy from Connecticut. I've mentioned him before. And I like this because I have nice control of it. I can get down here and turn it, and I can get into places and things like that. This is my 3/4 inch skew, and I have it sharpened the same on, you know, sides, so I can use it like this or turn it over. Then I have it offset here, so I can get into places like the neck and in here and do a nice job. I'll go sharpen this, be right back. Let's try to get in here, right in here, underneath there. That's what this is all about. I won't take off a lot at once, just a little bit. But now I have to blend this in with the rest of this neck. This is where every little bit of material counts. Now I'm trying to make it a nice, even angle coming in, just a nice contour so it flows nicely. As yet I don't have that. I got a little hump right here. Now sometimes when you have a hump or a bump or an indent, by the time you get it out, you're clear across the vase or whatever else you might be contouring. But it's very important that you take time and get those guys out. Like, I don't care for the off color I made with my gouge, so I'm going to go back and take care of that and make sure that things are flowing okay. And no, they're not. Right down in here I have a little bit of a flat spot. I just want to be able to make sure that it's just flowing nice and evenly. However it goes, I want the transition to be nice and smooth. Okay. The lip is pretty thick on this one. I think I'll cut it down to about there. See, I'm using the tip of this thing just to take little bites off of that. I'll guarantee you, if I a bit too much, this thing would come right out of that chuck. Okay, so that looks a lot better. Now this little detail I'm doing now is very important on the piece. And the reason why it's really important, people are going to look at this right here and they're going to determine that that's the whole thickness of this vase. That's what you see in the thickness, and so people are going to really kind of go by that, which is okay, because as a artist you need to be able to, you know, make everything look like you know what you're doing. Okay, that's what I try to do. Sometimes I accomplish that, sometimes I don't. Now, so I'm pretty well done with the exterior of this thing as far as cleaning it up and just, you know, making sure that my contour is correct all the way through. I'm liking the whole thing. It's just looking like I want it to. So what I'll do is I'll start on the inside, and that I will set up. Okay, this is the old model of SR20, and the only difference between the models of this older one and the new one is that on the new one I flipped the angle iron so the vertical is on this side. Okay, now the reason why I did that is all for the wheels, so I can get that closer to the end of it to hollow it, and I don't have the bar down here restricting my banjo to get in there. Other than that, it's the same. A couple cautions on setting these things up, just like you have for everything else. Once you get to know it, it's usually pretty easy. Number one, on the wheels, you want them not to wobble. Like this one's just fine, but you want it to turn well, okay? Yeah, you don't want it to wobble back and forth, and you want it to turn well. Okay, so that's all done with this little nut right here. So we'll go through. Now that one has a little bit of a wobble in it, and I will take care of that. My wheels are turning good and they're not wobbling. So then the next thing that comes about on this is I want to make sure that I either have a low, a dead low, or a dead high. Okay? If you do it on the side, for some reason on the side it'll push against the wheels and heat the bearings up. Other than that, shouldn't have any trouble. I've not had any trouble except when before I learned that little guy. I also made just this little square just so I could get it in there, and also that I leave it with my lathe so I know where it is, and I don't have to go hunting for a square at all. So I'll square this up. Use a 3/4 inch wrench and start off lightly. Okay. Okay. Snug it down, and I'm ready set go on that. Okay. Now all I have to do is set my wheels. Now you can gather a little bit of room sometimes that you need by switching the wheels around. You can turn them one way or the other. As you can see on this, there's a lot of difference where this wheel's going. So I want it right there. This one I put down a little bit lower because I don't want it to interfere with the outrigger of the tool coming through here. Okay, there's the outrigger and also the spring rod. So these others, okay, I'm still true. I usually put the tailstock back in the piece, or a plug with the tailstock putting pressure on it, but I forgot to this time. It turned out just fine. So I'm all ready, set, go. My wheels are running good. I'm on the flat bottom, so I'm all set up with the SR20 now. So what I can do is, I of course need to make sure that I'm not going to be working on this any more than I need to, and check the bottom. I have about 3/8 of an inch of a bottom, which should be about perfect. Set up a left-hand notch blade. I will also take out my other banjo, since I trapped the first one in there. To work on this part right in here to begin with, I want to give myself a little bit of room. I want to give myself a little bit of room here. I want to get this spring out of my way, and so I can just see what's going on here first, okay? I want to check it all out. And I'll start off at .537, okay? So let's just see what happens. So, no tear out. What do we have for thickness? Oh, boy. That feels pretty good. Okay. I have a little bit of mark in here from when I first hollowed it. It's a little off color, so I'll try to take that out if I can. I have a little bit of a tear out here, which is of no consequence whatsoever. I don't have any tear out on this piece that's gonna hurt anything. But what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this thing smoothed down in case somebody wants to put their fingers down there and feel what it's like. I want it to be nice all the way through, which I have a little bit of a ridge right here. Let's see. Let's see. No more ridge. You know what? That takes care of it. So all I have to do is start with 80 grit, of which I do on my projects. And I do that like, in reality I could start with 120 on this piece. The reason why I want to start with 80 grit is because I want to make sure I get all the tool marks out. I hate getting to like 320 grit and then seeing a tool mark. It just ruins my day when I have to go back and start all over again with 80 grit to get that tool mark out. So I just soon go through right now and take it out and all of that. Now you notice too, I didn't even have to do my spring. Everything is fine. The only thing that I will check for is to see the bottom, to see that on the bottom here, yeah, it's all set and everything. I'll just see down at the bottom if I hollowed it out right. And yeah, okay. I have a little bit I could take out right down at the very bottom. So I have room to clean this up, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going through and cleaning it up a little bit. That's the use, okay, that's how to use the Hollowing King tool. It's also how to determine what notch blade you're going to use. Also how to set up the SR20. I thank you for all the questions I get. More and more questions. I like it. And as time goes on, I will do more videos, of course, as to just different things about this tool. Like I said, if you listen to it, it'll talk to you. If you feel it, it'll show you. And that's just the way it is. Learn how to be in tune with it and practice some with it, and you're going to find out exactly what I'm talking about. People have laughed at me when I've said that, and then later come back and said, you know, I do know what you're talking about, and that I'm right. It's a lot more of a tool than I ever dreamt it would be when I was designing it. So anyway, happy hollowing from Crabtree Hollow. Stay with the grain, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.